Battlefield 6 is freaking awesome. Sorry to just jump right into it, but Battlefield really did something special here with its new installment, and by special, I mean dialed up the graphics, improved the overall feel of play, and really tuned in on some of the more prominent features of a Battlefield game, like class specs, equipment, and stuff like that, and that's kinda it. No, really, that's all Battlefield 6 really did, and it worked so freaking well. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one on the fly because I'm genuinely at a loss for what exactly I want to say about Battlefield 6. I could sit here and go over every single mode, but if you've ever played Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, or 4, you more or less know all of them. I could go over the variability of play with the amount of classes, weapons, tanks, jeeps, quads, and any other flying instruments of war you get to pilot in this game, but again, if you've played a Battlefield game, it's nothing all that new. Could go over the story, but yeah, somehow that's not even a new phenomenon with this game. The point is, Battlefield 6 managed to be an utterly amazing game, while in the grand scheme of things, not really changing anything at all about the core game. And honestly, I was sitting here thinking that was a bad thing for some reason. Like, what do you mean Battlefield 6 isn't completely revamped and going in some new random direction to completely overhaul the game yet again and make it fresh and new and all those other buzzwords that seem to be shoved in every article written about games lately? No, instead I loaded into a game that truthfully I had no intentions of purchasing because I was expecting some astronomically brain-dead change to the game to bring it up to today's standards or whatever the hell that's supposed to mean, only to find a game that is insanely fun, has core gameplay polished to a T, and devoid of all the stupid crap that comes with new games of this era. No battle pass, I mean, yeah, it's EA after all. No arbitrary stuffing in of a battle royale game mode just because, and no wild shakeup to the game in terms of objectives or game modes. And arguably most importantly, there's no piss poor launch day performance. At least on Steam, can't really speak for the other launchers. It seems like they're having some kind of issue. Honestly, it's the most Battlefield I've played in a while, and it's such a special thing to me. They took what works, what has always worked for the game, and just honed in on these specific aspects and improved upon them themselves. Through this launch of Battlefield 6 and the fact that it really is just a Battlefield game free of any of today's gimmicks, kinda, at least to me, proves that just getting the basics of what made the game fun in the first place right is really all you need because it's what the players want. Sometimes you just get it right the first time, and in what I would consider the golden age of Battlefield, namely 2, 3, and 4 to a point. I kind of missed out a lot on Battlefield 4. Battlefield was just a fun game, free of all of the crap other games in the genre were starting to steer towards. And yeah, Battlefield may have lost its way a little bit in the past 6 to 7 years, but seeing it come full circle and just return to the more realistic mass battle simulator that was so beloved by so many, without trying to ram in anything new and innovative into the game, I really hope can serve as a real signal to some of these other developers that, hey, sometimes just the basics of what made your game so fun in the first place was the direction you need to return to. This installment, it's just Battlefield the way it always should have been. And the improvements they did make to things like graphics, classes, and the feel of play just make it all the more a fun experience. This time around, when it comes to the classes, while they have always specialized in a specific role to the game, they feel far more incentivized to actually fulfill your class purpose, whether it be reviving allies as the support, fixing or destroying vehicles as the engineer, keeping your distance as a sniper, and marking out the enemy vehicles as the recon. Sure, these classes always had their specific role to play in previous games, new specialist missions and ways to actually increase your rank within your specific class and gain more gear and more options for perks and other things like that. Following your class's designation and actually doing what your role is just feels a little bit more prominent. Personally, I'm chasing a support badge as running around reviving teammates seems to be the best option because Lord knows I don't have the skills to be a top fragger. And that's kind of something I've always loved about Battlefield. There is less of an emphasis on personal performance per se. Sure, it will still make a major difference if one player is able to just stack up kills and deplete the lobby. So yes, while that is an option that Battlefield offers, it also offers up enough to do for maybe the less technically skilled player through these individual roles. You can really make a substantial impact in the outcome of the game if you leverage your roles to the fullest. For instance, tanks and buggies are such pivotal pieces of machinery in some of the game modes, whether it be to take back a point or defend one. So keeping your focus as the engineer away from stacking up kills and repairing your tank buddy is a completely viable option. All the while, when you aren't needed for repairs on that tank, you can be picking off helicopters out of the sky, greatly reducing enemy air support. Same goes for the other roles. They really do feel like they can make a major impact this time around if you actually play your role. For me, I'm not the best at, well, aiming, but I can revive the guy that is. And that's weirdly another thing about Battlefield 6. Well, I guess more of the Battlefield games as a whole. Perform well or not, winning or losing, it never seems to be the main factor. Well, at least it isn't for me. Your mileage may vary. And it's one of the few games out there of this type that just having fun as an individual player or working towards your own challenges seems to trump the concept of winning or losing a match. I kind of chalk that up to the amount of progression Battlefield has with its guns, challenges, specializations. So even when you do lose, you still get a sense of working towards something that you were going after in the first place. It's a minor sense of accomplishment. And to be fair, some of these challenges are long and cumbersome, but I can't honestly say that they're a chore to grind out. Smooth gunplay, crisp and clear scopes and lines of sights, I guess when an explosion or a tank isn't knocking down the building in front of you, and holding rock steady in terms of FPS just makes playing the game so addictive, and you can't help but jump in round after round. Even on launch weekend, I don't think I experienced a single bit of staggering or crashing, just round after round of chaos-fueled Battlefield fun, which is rare nowadays to say the least. It's depressing in its own right. Honestly, I don't have much more to say about it. I've been sitting here trying to come up with anything else I can talk about, but everything I come up with, if you have ever played a Battlefield game, you are pretty much gonna know what I'm talking about, and it's nothing all that new, except it just feels all that much better. I guess sure, I could go into the story, which I have heard is, well, not all that great, though to be entirely honest with you, I wouldn't know. I haven't played it yet. In all reality, myself included, I don't think I've ever heard someone say they bought a Battlefield game for its campaign, so it being good or bad is just kinda muted to me. You know, I think this video is gonna be a complete mess. I'm really not used to doing this without a script. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's just Battlefield, and a damn good one at that. All the basics of what made the game so great all those years ago, just dialed up to 11 without anything new and innovative to speak of. Hey, sometimes the basics of what makes a game great are all you really need.